Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FC Dynamo Brest Cup 2017, where Kinguin are just one map win away from making it to the LAN finals in beautiful Minsk, Belarus. My name is Hawker, and to guide you through the action, I am joined by Sir Danny. And Danny, what are your thoughts now heading into Mirage after Kinguin stole away Seed's map pick?
I think it's a no-brainer. Kinguin are looking strong. Mirage is definitely a map that they can perform upon. Seed, on the other hand, I would say the same thing about Seed. We're gonna have to wait and see. Can they actually come up here on a map like this? But I gotta favor Kinguin. After all, they're the team that got so much experience, so much knowledge in a map like Mirage. It's just gonna be, I'd say, a bit difficult here for Seed. When they played against Pride, if I recall correctly, that was still with the stand-in icon? I think that might be the case. So, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Maybe with the full-on lineup, Seed can actually perform a bit better. But even then, that is a question mark. Kinguin, though, it looks like they're also gonna be taking the knife round here, and, well, like we said on the map previously, on Inferno, we still said the fact that if it's gonna go to the second map, things could really get dicey here for Seed.
Yeah, and I do think Seed are okay on this map. I don't think they're terrible or anything. It's mainly just the fact that Kinguin have been really strong on Mirage. I mean, you take a look at some of Seed's recent results. They have beat Team 5 16-11. They have beat Endpoint. I know it's a UK team, but it was a 16-6 win, so that was very convincing. And then, Danny, because you're from Lithuania, they beat Chaos, the Lithuanian team, 16-1. So I just thought I'd throw that in there to say that UKCS is better.
Oh, come on. I know that. Okay, you don't have to do it, Haka. I know they kind of screwed up there, even though for the Lithuanian team, a map like Mirage is actually pretty decent. I'm quite surprised to see that myself, but now jumping into the pistol round is a great opening here for C. They take down Mouse, who tries to go for a bit of an information play, but if he wanted, he could have also gotten the frag, but apparently right now Seed is just gonna go straight onto the bomb site. Speedy's doing such a great job, and the rest of the squad, all they gotta do is plant the bomb. Perfect flash as well. And now see, they plant the bomb, and they should kind of slow down here. Innocent could also be getting a second frag onto Capper, but I mean, right now it's all up to Rallin.
Well, Rowland does get the one headshot. Still 3 more to find as he makes his way back to CT. They know exactly where he is. He does get the kit, and Dennis could be in trouble, but just as I say that, he finds the headshot himself, and so Seed come out strong with the pistol going their way. And again, you'll see a lot of teams go for that sort of strategy on Mirage. Just 2 smokes over towards A. Oftentimes, it makes it very difficult for the CTs to hold, because fairly often you will see on the CT side, pistol round, players only put one player on the A site itself. And then as those smokes come in, it can be very difficult to rotate over. And that's why I'm surprised you still see a lot of teams do that, because very often you'll see the A play come through from the Ts, and very often it will be successful with the smokes over the top. And that is the case here, with Kinguin being forced back to pistols. Looks like Seed are just going to take the start of this round slowly, which is certainly fair enough. We did, remember, see them lose against the Force Buy in the last map. So I'd like to see Seed try and get some information and try and see if there's a stack anywhere. But for the time being, Kinguin are spread across the map.
And we have to put our eyes on Sparrow. He's already, in fact, in underpass. Now that is a powerful position, but he's not going to be hearing anything as of yet, as the players that were close to B-Apps have all rotated whilst shift walking to T-spawn, so he's not going to be having the most amount of intel, but in fact, he does regroup with his teammates on the A-bomb side, as in fact, Sparrow has pushed in all the way through B-Apps. This is confirmed here for the Kinguin side. This is going to be an A hit. Can they hit the shots, though? That is a question that's need to be answered here. Capper with the CZ will be taking down Innocent out of the equation, and there's also a flank from Sparrow. He's the difference maker in a round like this, as Kinguin, they have the pistols here. They're still doing serious damage here, and Sparrow, he's gonna clean things up here. I presume Crystal, left by his lonesome, is gonna get taken down, and what a massive play there from none other than Kinguin.
That was very similar to what happened on the previous map. Seed won the T-side pistol back on Inferno, and yet they lose up against the pistols, and again it happens here. That's got to be disappointing for Seed. Almost making the same mistakes again, you could say. Although this time they didn't run into the stack. Instead, they just kind of got caught out by some opening kills, and then Spiro coming in for the flank. And so now Seed themselves will have to try and get it done with just pistols. Spitty by himself towards A will look for something with the Deagle, but he's not going to get any fights. In the meantime, you can see Kinguin trying to make sure they don't run the risk of losing to the pistols here. They've got plenty of rifles, in fact 4 rifles across the entire team. So I'm sure that will make them feel a bit more confident, especially now as Mihu already finds that opening kill. Plenty of players at mid, and plenty of players dying at mid for Seed, as they only get a couple of kills. Although Dennis does also find one with his Desert Eagles, so back to a 2-on-3, but still certainly advantage Kinguin.
Oh, without a doubt. There's no way of denying it. It's still advantageous position here for the Kinguin boys, except it really comes down to the fact that Seed, I think for them, if they can do maybe some more damage here, or even plant the bomb, you gotta hear me out here, Dennis, as he's making his way towards B-Apps, he could even plant the bomb, but Mihu is already got the angle as Dennis does jump down, so beforehand, I think that would have been possible, as after all, Mihu wasn't even looking towards B-Apps, but the timing does work out here for the Polar squad, and see, they're, you know, in a round like this, eco time, boys. I think if you're a Crystal, he's probably going to be saving up for the op, so he's not going to be buying up anything, but Innocent will be purchasing the Flash, and honestly, in a round like this, it's nice to see teams to maybe even try to jump down from A apps towards the side. That's a pretty decent position where they can plant the bomb if they can get even a single frag. So right now we're going to be seeing something of similar here from Seed. They have that one smoke prepped up from Crystal, in fact, of all players, and that's going to be a smoke for CT. Now that is a good smoke because that should allow Dennis to even jump down and plant the bomb. The guys coming in from ramp are going to be, shall I say, human decoys, and they should be able to plant the bomb, but apparently not. Seed is doing just such a great job, or not, huh? I thought they might still be in a position to plant the bomb, but apparently Kinguin doing such a great job on the hold. And Kinguin, you know, that was quite impressive of all things. They don't end up losing a single guy, and they're gonna be sticking with what they have here, that MP9 and SMG. Worst case scenario for them, they're still gonna be having an investment on that 6th round.
Yeah, that's always the issue of trying to put up the smoke like that. These players are very good at sort of predicting where the plant will come through the smoke, so they just spray away, get themselves a couple of kills, and just slow things down long enough. So now Crystal himself does have the AWP for the T side. He has had to go without Kevlar, but still enough money to buy up the AWP as he makes his way out top mid. In the meantime, you can see those players with the SMGs are trying to hold some close range angles. The MP9 of Kappa over towards the apartments, but it looks like he will not be having too much to deal with because Seed, instead are focused towards mid. You can see Dennis is already making his way in towards connector thanks to the smoke, so good ground gained from Seed, but they've used a lot of their utility early here on mid presence. So the question is, can they still successfully find a site with what little nades they have? And Rallen, the timing is everything as he peeks just before the second smoke comes in. Great play from Rallen to get the timing right to find those opening 2 kills, and Spiro should be gifted a frag just about flicking back in time, and Kinguin take a dominant first gun round.
That was such a tasty peek there from Rallen. I mean, mwah, beautiful stuff from him, spawning out a gap in the smoke, trying to get the frag, and in fact he gets 2. Nicely done by him, and from that point onward, I mean, even though Seed, you kind of look at how they were positioned, they had some decent mid presence overall. I mean, they had a couple guys in connector towards top mid as well, but really, that was just some great stuff there from the Kinguin boys when it comes down to holding off and getting the initial frags as well. So nicely done from them. And now Seed, I think they might have to face an eco here, and that's, I'd say, the correct choice. After all, you're going to be hitting maximum lose money bonus after losing this round, so you're still going to be having a decent amount of cash. It's just that you're probably going to be giving another round here for Kinguin.
Well, we did see Kinguin themselves have success with the pistols previously, so Kinguin have proven that it is possible. The Seed will have to follow suit with 4 Desert Eagles, and we haven't really seen Seed too often particularly compete in these rounds. Even though there was that previous one on this very map where they did find a couple of kills, it never really felt like they were going to be finding the round win, even after finding a few frags. And so let's see if Seed can have a bit more success this time. Out come the nades. Rallen is just kind of standing out in the open there towards mid, which is a little bit scary. However, he won't be put under fire because Seed are not focused towards mid. They are currently very spread out across the map here. It looks like they're just trying to work some picks with these deagles, and that could be a possibility as Dennis makes his way up a ramp. He does have Innocent behind him. And here we go, Mouse does go peeking. And Dennis there, I don't think was accurate on the second shot, but he gets a little bit of luck spamming away. And so Seed do find themselves the first pick on the A site. And look at Kinguin, they haven't rotated over just yet.
No, they haven't, and Rallen is relatively isolated from the rest of the squad, so he might just be gotta be a bit more wary here, as he has no idea could there be players coming in from middle. And of course there are guys on the side itself. Seed are pushing through. Mihu will be taking down the possible flank there from Zen. Now the rest of the squad is actually going to be planting the bomb, so all in all that's not that bad there from Seed. They've planted the bomb. Speedy has got the AK-47. I don't know if he's able to accomplish much with it, especially as there's a flank coming in, but anyhow, this is already looking like a very good round here for Kinguin.
Here comes Kappa, flanking from ramp, and the MP9 gets an easy frag. So Innocent Underwood should be spotted fairly easily, and Kappa does find the dink, but Mihu steals away the kill to find himself a triple. And the defuse will be fairly easy. So now Seed, with the bomb plant, have plenty of cash here for the buy. No more excuses for Seed. This will be a full buy. They could even go for double AWPs if they so pleased. Of course, on the T side, that is not really advised, though, so Crystal will just be happy with the single AWP. And let's see what Crystal's spawn is like. It's okay, but not great. So if he wanted to go for a mid-pick, that's a possibility. However, he certainly could be met by Spiro holding the angle. Oh, Spiro messes up the movement there. He didn't break the vent quickly enough. Luckily for him, though, it won't make too much of an impact, as he won't go for the first frag anyway. In the meantime, Rallen spots a gap in the smoke, finding himself one kill, and Mihu comes in for a second frag. Yet again, Kinguin find two entries with ease towards mid.
That's sometimes the thing, you know, when the terror-side team from T-Spawn is deploying that smoke towards top mid, it can sometimes, yes, it can help out the teams to actually cross towards the boxes, but it can also help out the player in short to actually go for a bit of a more aggressive peek, and he can definitely cut off some of the T's off guard. So that's what kind of happened right there. You know, Miku and Rallen, that was a relatively good crossfire setup towards connector of all places, and now see, they are missing two of their players in a round like this. They're still gonna have to recover the bomb, because remember, the bomb is dropped in connector, and recovering the bomb is already a pretty big issue.
They do still have mid presence, so that's something to work with. And a little bit of utility to use, although only the one smoke for Crystal. Look at Speedy though, he's made his way up short. And that allows himself to find a quick headshot, but Kappa is still here, ready and waiting. And so here comes the bomb going in towards connector, while Crystal focuses towards short. 25 seconds left. They're going to try the desperation push on towards A, but Kinguin should be in position to hold this one off.
After all, their players in very good positions. Rallen will be taking down Crystal in the end, and oh boy, that mid take wasn't that good. I mean, all in all, they try to take middle. I don't blame them. The idea is great and all, but that sort of push from towards connector was disjointed, I have to admit. I don't know if the smoke was deployed from Seed, or was it actually thrown down by the player who was holding down connector, Rallen. Anyhow, I mean, pushing through the smoke like that, it didn't make a lot of sense, especially as the guy that pushed through the smoke was the bomb carrier of all people. So that was, speaking about misplays, that was one of them. That was a pretty huge one. So Seed are going to try to think things through. After all, they're the ones to take the pause, and after the pause has commenced, they're going to be going for an investment. Will it be a good one? Well, they're going to be having AKs, so that's a good thing for them. Crystal might have to rock, oh, with the CZ apparently, huh? Not even SMG, just rocking the CZ. So Seed, what is their game plan in a round like this?
Well, Spiddy is going to be going out towards mid, but the rest of the lineup are leaning towards A, and this time Kinguin themselves are not particularly focused towards mid. They have Spiro's AWP waiting on the A site. This could be actually very dangerous for Seed. I don't think they'll expect two players to be committed to A. Let's see if Mouse on the initial contact can find himself a kill or two. Here come the nades over the top. Mouse will be mollied out of position, but the counter flash gets himself a frag. Actually, it was Dennis with a team kill, sorry. But either way, it's a 1-for-1 trade on the A site. A very, very hectic push, but it looks like the bomb will go down, and Innocent nearly lines up the spray down. But indeed, the bomb will be planted 4v4, and see just sit back towards ramp because the bomb is planted for them.
Yeah, that's pretty much the really good thing here for the Saeed side, the terrorists. The problem is though, Kinguin doesn't really have some sort of utility to be blocking off the vision of the terrorist side, so they might just be in a position to get these frags, but the HP advantage, it's still favoring here the Kinguin guys. Speedy has been spotting out. That's a lineup there from Speedy and Dennis, and now Sparrow with Yop. That's pretty much impossible at this point. It is pretty much impossible, but for me, the most boggling factor was, I think you noticed yourself on the map, we saw Speedy, he wasn't top middle. For some odd reason, even though Seed is actually able to plant the bomb towards ramp, Speedy decides to go from top mid all the way back to T-spawn. Why would he do that? I have no idea, as he really could be such an important player in that sort of round, the linchpin, if you will. If he's actually able to wrap around from middle towards connector, he's in such a great spot to even get a kill or two. To be rotating like that just didn't make any sort of sense. It's a good thing that Seed do end up winning the round, but I guess that was a bit of a miscommunication from the Seed team.
Look at Miku, he's going to push top mid. This is ill-advised. There are plenty of players waiting for him. And here comes the push from Spiddy. He's going to take advantage of that opening and try and open up the A site. Oh, he doesn't quite win that duel though. And so as Rallen finds that frag, that might put a stop to the A play. You see there, the rest of Seed not really in position to help Spiddy out. So it will just be an eventual 1-for-1 trade, with also Rallen and Innocent both going down to similarly low HP. So this is a fairly even round from this point, but Kinguin have 3 players focused on the A site, and it seems like Seed are somewhat aware of that here. They're going to make their way back around to T-spawn, so they're going to use as much of the clock as possible, and with 45 seconds left, there is still plenty of time left for them to play with. Although now Shapiro is focused on mid with the AWP, that could be important because that's where Seed currently have their attention focused, if you like.
Succeed. They did throw a smoke there towards connector, so that's going to be blocking off the vision of Rallens right now. The thing is, though, the Terrorcide team is going to be making their way towards the B bomb site of all places. Capper is alone towards B. If he's going to be getting at least a single frag, that's pretty good, but he's not going to be getting a frag, apparently. Okay, then, Kinguin, I think they might try to go for this one, but as the bomb will be planted, I mean, it's a question mark at this point. They don't really have much to work with here, unless they get a frag very quick here, like in the 5 maybe seconds or so, but they're already understanding it's going to be difficult. They haven't gotten the frag quick enough, so the retake is not going to be happening. So Seed, they do get their 3rd round, and I'm have to admit, I'm quite surprised that Capper wasn't even able to get a single frag there. After all, Innocent was relatively low on HP, so Kinguin, they're going to be forfeiting the round, and Seed will be acquiring their 3rd.
Yeah, Kappa there was on the site itself, but when you don't have any presence towards mid, and you could, well, you have some information towards mid, right? Because Seed certainly were aware that the, Kinguin was certainly aware that Seed were pushing out mid with those nades coming in. But you saw there, Kappa had just so many angles to watch towards. Even though he knew where some opponents were pushing from, it's really difficult for him to do too much from that spot. And so now, Seed will finally get themselves a couple of rounds together on their T side of things. But again, Kinguin have already built up a fair amount of cash, so they will go for the buy themselves. This time it's going to be Rallen going towards mid. No, as I say that, he will be going back towards A. So Shapiro, again with the AWP, will try and make it happen. But in the meantime, look at Mal's go. We haven't really seen this aggression in towards A ramp. I don't expect him to go any further, but he could certainly make a difficult push for Seed. He himself is actually getting flashed in, and that's some information for Mal's, but not quite the kill I'm sure he was hoping for.
But even surviving that sort of affair where 3 people are actually aiming down towards ramp, I have no idea how did that actually happen, that the player was in fact able to survive. But all in all, I think this could telegraph that this could be an A push here for Kinguin. They're not ready for it just yet. After all, I mean, even spotting out the players towards ramp, it doesn't mean much. It could be an A execute, it could be the Terrorcide team throwing down smokes, but for the time being, no smokes are being thrown out, though Seed are getting ready to do so. So Mouse, I'd say he's in a pretty good position. If he gets Molotov out, now that's a bit difficult for him. But Kinguin, they still have some of that utility, so they're using it right now. And Seed is ready for the push. They're coming in here. Rowland has been smoked off, and like I said, Mouse in a pretty good position. The Molotov doesn't come through, and Rowland peering through the smoke, dropping the bomb. Now this is an opportunity here for Kinguin. Will they capitalize off it? I do believe so. Rowland spotting out Innocent there. Nice try to get the frag, but it's not meant to be. Speedy's gonna drop dead, and now Innocent with the AK in hand towards Tetris of all places. That is quite a different position to be clutching from, so nice try there from Seed, but in the end, it didn't really work out.
Yeah, you saw the nades go over the top. Fairly standard smokes going over. However, you saw a little bit of a gap at the backside of the jungle smoke, and so Rowland did manage to sort of, as you were saying, peer through the edge of the smoke, find himself the first kill, and then he nearly found a gap in the smoke to take down the bomb planter after spotting him out. But the rest of the team instead did the necessary job. So Seed again, they're going to go for a buy, but we're seeing both teams really have some issues in terms of their money, although Kinguin have now actually built up some with a fairly convincing round win. We're going to see Spiro get boosted in towards ladder room at the start of the round. We haven't particularly seen that from the CT side so far. Either way, Seed, it looks like after having not too much success towards A in the previous round, they're thinking of switching things up towards the B site, and there is already a player in kitchen ready to help Kappa on the hold. Kappa himself, though, needs to get the timing right here. He could try and drop a flash down, however, he's just going to have to hold this off, and they don't clear the position! Kappa spraying away, gets all four! What the hell is that from Kappa? No one checks his angle, and that allows him to completely open up. It was only 3 kills, sorry, I thought it was 4, but it was still a very good spray down nonetheless.
It surely was. I know it surely was one hell of a great spray down from the player Capper. I was quite scared there, we saw Spiro actually lining up the shot, and it almost looked like he's actually going to be killing his own teammate right there. Okay then, it kind of looked a bit scary there for Seed at the time, but now Kinguin, they are showing up to be quite a decent team here. I don't know what's happening right here. We saw one of the players, actually Crystal, just running out there. The rest are kind of lagging behind, and Kinguin, looks like they're just gonna be taking an easy round. I'm not quite sure what Seed was trying to do in a round like this. After all, you can't expect much for the Glocks, but that looked disjointed, even for a, shall I say, eco round.
Yeah, very easy stuff. Not too much else to say. I think Seed were trying to go for a quick A push, but you saw maybe it was called a little bit too late. They weren't particularly lined up for the push. And so instead, Seed will focus on this round where, again, they don't have the AWPs. Again, they are down to a couple of Galils. And this has kind of been the story of the half for Seed ever since they've lost a few rounds in a row. They have been on the back foot. Out comes the Incendiary, and again, Spiro looking for the aggression out mid. This could work out for him because Innocent gets the spray. I thought Spiro was going to be able to find an opening, but Innocent just decides to take a cheeky spam through the smoke, and he gets himself a kill for it, as Crystal also finds a frag of his own. And finally, Seed get themselves an advantage in the round, but look at Kappa. Could he make the difference going down towards underpass? I think he made a step there. He should have been heard, but no, they still don't hear him. And so Kappa on the backstab gets a couple of kills back, and we're into a 3 versus 3.
And the backstab here from Capper, he's not stopping. He's continuing on with the push towards B apps already. He's got so much intel, you could say. It's probably not going to be B. You could say so. Oh, wait, what? Rowland just jumping down window like that. I wouldn't say that was the correct choice from Rowland. I think he still should have waited a bit for the smoke to actually bloom and then maybe go for the peak, but jumping down like that, now that's a bit scary. Mouse, he's holding a good angle, though whiffs the shots. That isn't good for Mouse. That definitely isn't good. This puts now Capper in a position where he might just have to try and clutch, but Innocent actually going to go towards the B bomb set. After all, he doesn't have the most amount of time, so it does make sense to hit B, and Capper is now going to be wasting valuable time at checking a bomb site that has no terrorists in it.
Yeah, that means he is going to have to push his way back quickly towards B. He does have the defuse kit as well as a lot of utility, but as soon as he throws one of those nades, he's going to get spotted. How does that kill not come through there? Kappa doesn't get taken out, but the molly. Oh no, Kappa forced to run forwards. And so it's just the AK of Innocent to close things out. A very difficult run there for Kappa. He takes some shots earlier, he has to run through the fire, and after it all, he just gets shot down by Innocent. So Kinguin will not be able to find that round. Seed get themselves another one on the board, but still Seed have the slightly weaker buy with Crystal down to a Galil, and still no AWP for the T side, so they continue to go out towards mid, and this time Spiro is going to sit in connector. He had the smoke placed there, but where is this molly? How is Spiro taking damage there? I thought the smoke would extinguish the flames, but he takes some damage, and so is forced to fall back. A little bit unfortunate there to start the round from Spiro.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes the Molotov doesn't extinguish the entire fire, maybe like half of the fire, 1/3 of the fire. Yeah, it's sometimes the case, especially if that's a Molotov thrown there towards stairs or a smoke also being thrown towards stairs. It's just the way Counter-Strike works. It's sometimes a bit weird, but hey, that's just how it is. Seed now. Speaking of things, how they are, Seed is actually having a lot of presence there towards middle. It doesn't look like they still decided where they want to go, as it looks like, okay, they have cleared apps. This should be an A hit, right? That could be a very simple split towards A bomb site. They do get that guy in connector, which is nice and all, and the majority of the squad looks like they're still going to be hitting from ramp. That should allow them to actually throw a couple of the smokes, but really they don't have smokes. I mean, Zenny's still got a smoke, but I mean, that's the only smoke they do have. And as Zen gets taken down, Seed, this isn't looking for them. 40 seconds on the clock. It's about time they pounce. And as Dennis gets the frag, Rallen, though, doing such a good job here in the hold. He could use the backup of his teammates, though. After all, Seed is hitting the bomb site. It's still going to be turned to a free versus free. Crystal getting a frag. Capper, though, doing such a great job. Now, Crystal up against Free. They're low HP though, so I guess it isn't that bad. Almost takes on the player. Now it's Crystal up against two low HP players.
8 seconds left. That means Spiro can easily finish him off. Just not really the time at the end there, and so Kinguin get themselves double digits. And more importantly, Seed, after losing that round, that was a really important round for them because they will just have to go for the force buy into round 15. And this is not exactly the best of forces. You see a couple of pistols, the UMP for Dennis. And other than that, Crystal will slowly buy up some nades. So they do have the utility. And that means that Seed are going to go towards the B bomb site. But Kinguin already have 2 players lined up to hold this off. This won't be an easy push for Seed. Although Kinguin themselves were thinking of some aggression, but they won't go for it. So Seed now just going to be lining up the push to the B site. But there are 3 players here if you count Miku in towards short.
See, when you take a look at them, they don't really have much going into this round, and they're gonna try to accomplish whatever they can. As the pistols are jumping down, that's a capper that's fully blinded, and now the terrorist squad should be having it easy. That's another fully blinded CT player. Seed is gonna be having the bomb site for their taken. However, there are still gonna be free CTs coming in though. Mouse going through the window without any sort of backup. I wouldn't say that's the right choice. And Rallen, he is coming in from short, but Spiro and Rallen, they're going to be having a difficult time ahead of them.
Good use of utility, and here comes Crystal ensuring the trade comes through, and Rallen on just 12 HP will fall at the hands of Crystal. So Seed managed to salvage a 5th round at the end of the half. And Danny, I want to try out something new here. We're going to go for Hawker's halftime stats. Danny, did you know the last 10 times Kinguin played Mirage, they won 9 out of 10 of those games?
Ooh, I did not know that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, give us some more trivia.
I didn't really think through further than that, but
Oh,
just wanted to point that out. It's a nice stat, okay?
okay, that was a nice segment.
That was it. We're heading into the second half now, Danny. So, Rallen buying the nades, Crystal buying the kit and the flashes, and here we go. Kinguin already leaning towards B.
Yeah, Speedy. I don't blame him. He's gonna try to go for this peak here. If he does get taken down, then at least a retake should be coming in relatively quickly here. Seed, Speedy, in fact, still getting the 1 frag. That's pretty decent. And there's Crystal on the side, popping some heads here, if you will. And now the retake is not gonna be necessary as the bomb has been dropped. The rotate is very swift. And well, Seed is going to be taking that round just like that. I'm quite surprised that it wasn't even some sort of shall I say, contact play. You know, most teams, especially like the Puggy style of taking B, like contact, they're going up slowly towards B apps, and they're gonna be moving in slowly pretty much throughout the entirety of apps unless someone spots them out. There was Speedy, but he was already rushed down by players, so it's very nice to see the Speedy to get that at least one frag, and at the same time, you know, Crystal helping his buddy out, and that is how Seed will be getting the pistol round. In fact, this is their second pistol round, yet they have only 6 rounds on the board.
Smoke coming out from Mouse, as well as the rest of the team lining up the nades. So the pistols will try and find some close range fights. The smokes are fairly successful in cutting the players off here. Crystal trying to line up the smoke. What? He gets himself 2 kills there through the... Make it a third! What the hell is going on right now? Crystal doesn't even realise the smoke is there, clearly, because he's just found 3 frags in a matter of seconds. And Mouse is the only player left. I am just gobsmacked right now. What a round from Crystal.
He lines them up. That's how he does it. I mean, they do try to plant for ramps, so... I mean, Crystal trying to get the spray down through, and he does get the spray down. I mean, that was a bit of luck, you could say, but at the same time, those were players crossing through his bullets, so let's try overall. But I mean, that's now the bomb dropped in the middle of nowhere. Mao's okay, Crystal will finally spot him out, but even then, no one's really watching that ramp right there, so he could have sneaked past through them quite easily. So the force spike, it doesn't work out here for the Kinguin side, so they're now going to be just rocking good old-fashioned Glocks here. I'm wondering, are they going to be going for a similar style of play that we saw C do in their ecos, like having all 5 players rush out towards A, and maybe, if possible, plant the bomb? And apparently they're going to be doing the opposite. They're going to be going on towards B with the Glocks.
Well, it looks like Kinguin are going to be rushing in. They're not going sneaky beaky like... And, well, that was a quick round. Not too much to be said there. The nades were lined up, the molly was there. C get themselves the round incredibly quickly. And Kinguin, I think, will just try and forget that ever happened and look forward to this round where they have the AKs back on their side. It is worth looking at Seed, however, because they themselves have a couple of SMGs that will be kept. So I'm interested to see if Seed decide to go for any aggression with these SMGs, see if they can find some close range fights, and see if they can catch Kinguin off guard at the early stages.
They could definitely do so, especially Sparrow. In fact, they go for that early aggression here, Seed, and they get absolutely destroyed. That did not go according to plan. At least Speedy is able to get the refrag. Now they're just pushing out there one by one. Okay, Speedy's aggression does work out, but for the rest of the squad, they're kind of crumbling here. They've got a bomb site right here. This is good for Kinguin. All they gotta do now, recover the bomb and plant it. It does sound a bit difficult, but as they have got the bomb and they have got the kills, it's not that difficult to understand. 8. I mean, Seed, it still had some of those SMGs, so trying to go for those pushes, I honestly don't blame them. It doesn't work out for them at all, though, which is a bit dissatisfying. But I guess the saving grace here is that they're still going to be having an investment here, which is nice now, especially Crystal. He's got the op.
Yeah, this round there will be no SMGs for Seed. It is the full rifle, so you can see why they decided to keep those SMGs in the previous one. And now we will get to see if Seed can put their money where their mouth is on this full buy. We have got the AWP in the hands of Crystal. That is playing in towards window. And Kinguin have not gone for an early sort of smoke towards mid. You often see the smoke in towards window or top mid, but Crystal will get a lot of information early on. He knows that mid is completely clear to start off the round. The Kinguin themselves, the reason they haven't gone for any sort of smokes just yet is because they themselves are going to take this round slowly. So if they do go for the mid presence, I'm sure they will just go for a bit of a later push out towards mid with those nades. Other than that, Kinguin do have presence across the map, although the Polish team is going to now focus a couple of players on underpass. So that's something to watch out for here. If they try and boost up in towards window, there isn't really anyone there for Seed to watch towards that. So that could be an issue here for Seed if they're not careful. That could be maybe the hole in their CT side setup, if you like.
Yes, because Crystal, you know, he was watching that part of the map, but as the smoke does come in there towards window, he decides to instantly back away and take a position towards CT spawn of all places. Capper though, he does spot out the defender on the side itself, and look at Rowland already waiting for the flank. Crystal will be picking up at least one frag there, but now as he's been smoked off, there's barely anything he can do in a round like this. Speedy as well, he's quite far away from the action. They're gonna try to push him though. Miku might just spot out Crystal, and I'd say that's the round already over. Speedy is probably thinking about saving in a scenario like this, trying to go for the kills. I mean, it's possible he might get a frag here, but other than that, his team is now going to be facing economic turmoil, or to be frank, an eco.
Yeah, exactly, and that might just push the polls a bit too far ahead. We said that Kinguin were big favourites here on this map. There we go, Spiddy does get himself one kill. I think that was the AWP dropped, actually, that Spiro was trying to recover, and here we go, Spiddy does find a second kill, flicking back around, but it won't really lead to too much, especially as Rallen comes in. You saw there Spiddy get baited out by the AWP. He got a bit too greedy, spotting out the AWP in the distance. He saw the $4,750 weapon he could save into the next round, and instead he will get nothing as he goes into the open. And so now Seed will have almost nothing to work with in this round. You can see the pistols bought up, and Shapiro is very aware of that, having the Mac 10 for himself. And Kinguin just going to push out mid early on. Should be good for Kinguin to be able to take this round fairly easily, although Seed do have a couple of players towards short. If the timing is right here, they might be able to find a frag or two. And oh, Spiddy gets the dink, but not the kill. Push gonna come in. Rallen is shutting down the push. 3 kills for himself, and Zane on just 4 HP will be pretty much out of the round.
Yeah, they've read that one very well, I have to admit, Kinguin. They realize the fact that they're going to be up against pistols, so it does make sense, for instance, to maybe even give up A control, A apps, maybe even ramp, and even B. Just try to stack up towards the middle, and then try to see what's going to happen from then. Try to maybe acquire the map control, then retreat and try to hit out of the sides. And apparently that wasn't even needed. You know, the CTs just pushed the Kinguin guys there towards middle. And I mean, Kinguin, once they get the initial frags, it's just that, okay, where did we go? B or A? We got free kills. So it doesn't really matter from that point onwards. So that was quite a good setup that worked out for Kinguin. I don't think they even expected it to work out the way it did. But hey, you know, they're the ones to getting the round win and Seed. Speaking about important rounds, I think this upcoming round is going to be of great importance here for the sort of European mix of the 3 Germans, 1 Finn, and the Polish guy. Because really, if Seed is not going to be able to accomplish a round win right here, they might have to go for another eco, and then somehow expect from a 15-8 scoreline acquire, what, 7 rounds in a row? Not to say that that's impossible, but for Seed standards, I'd say it's just a difficult task. The AWP again is back in the hands of Crystal. Will he be getting something out of this one? Not yet, as Kinguin are playing relatively passively.
We've seen this very often from Kinguin. They are more than happy to use up the clock. And why not, to be honest, because there's no need to risk some sort of quick play when the slow pushes have been so successful. We are going to see Seed stack a few players towards mid in this round, and that could be the first point of contention. You can see Crystal holding with the AWP. Ooh, Mihu might just peek round the corner, but he does stay safe. And oh, Kappa from Underground gets the first pick. Dennis is here, though. The players are holding towards mid, and Dennis finds a second kill. That might just be what Seed were looking for, because there's only 2 Kinguin players left, and it looks like they're going to have to go for a push towards the B site.
Honestly, just any sort of push will do. The round, I wouldn't say it's pretty much over. Up, yes, Speedy's putting out the bomb carrier. He's actually going to be taking down Rallen as well. So, yeah, Malice is quite far away from his buddy, so he's not going to be helping him out anytime soon. I think if you're Mouse, saving the AK is a possibility, but before that, just try to get maybe some more damage here on the Seed economy. Some of the players, Dennis in particular, is relatively low in HP, so Mouse winning the round is out of the question, but he might just get a frag here. The problem is, though, Dennis is holding quite a nifty angle, and Dennis is going to be getting the frag in the end. So, you know, they take, I'd say, an unlikely round win to be the push there. I didn't expect it to work out the way it did, but it went out beautifully there for Seed. One of the players did miss some of his shots, but he did get the spray shot anyway.
So now, round 23 could be the most important round in this map, because you can see both teams do not have that much money built up. If Kinguin lose this, they're probably back down to a low buy, whereas if Seed lose this one, they'll probably have to force. Either way, we'll have to wait and see if those possibilities come in, because already Mihu catches the Orb of Crystal out in the open. A fairly easy opening, and Rallen finds a frag himself. Here goes another kill for Rallen, just opening up mids. Easy round for Kinguin in towards the mid presence. They didn't even need to use too much utility. It was just aim fights there, going the way of the Polish team. And oh, Rallen does turn around just in time. 3 frags there for Rallen, and that should be the round completely over.
I think it's a fair assessment, quite the analytical point of view, because right now Speedy is up against 5. Clutches like that do happen in Counter-Strike, but is it going to be this one? I doubt it. Right now, Mihu knows where the last guy is at. It doesn't make much sense for him to be even in B apps. Really, he could just go towards A and then plant the bomb, but Capper does get the kill, so I guess it works out good there for Kinguin. And speaking about important rounds, yes, I said the round previously was important, but this one, this could be even worse for them. They end up winning the round, and now their maximum lose money bonus is reset. They're back at it again with 1,400 bucks. That isn't enough to make a proper buy here for Seed, and they're gonna have to eco, a full-on eco if you will, for Dennis and Crystal, but the rest, they do invest something, but it ain't much. Some of those upgraded pistols like the 2Ds and CZ, I mean, that's not a lot to work with here, I have to admit. Zendo, he will be taking down Capper, doesn't want to risk too much. The initial engagement and the kill is already good for Zen. He could have gone and tried to retrieve the AK, but that would be quite risky, you could say. And Kinguin, they kind of lost the man advantage right there, so Mouse will be bringing things back. He does take down Zen. Miku going for the taps right there, and looks like it could be that the swing's gone in favor back again to the Polish side. Innocent is now all alone. He has salvaged the AK, and he might try to get some sort of frags here if possible, but I guess the good thing for him, that the bomb, it still hasn't been planted. Innocent, in fact, will be getting a frag, but now the double peek should come through, and that's a round for Kinguin.
Yeah, Kinguin do leave the bomb at T-spawn, but it doesn't matter. They hunt down the kill, making sure that they do double peek for the final fights. And so now Kinguin have 6 map points, 6 series points even. 6 chances to get to Belarus, I guess is one way you could put it. Seed, though, will not be giving up that easily. They have the buy in their hands, and Crystal again has the AWP. We haven't seen him find too much success on this AWP, to be honest, on the CT side. So let's see if he can find something this time over towards B Apartments, because that's where he will be playing to start the round. In the meantime, look at Mihu pushing up top mid, and Dennis could be in danger here. Indeed, he is out in the open. He gets caught, and Mihu opens up B, finding a second frag, and that play from Mihu might just seal the deal. A 3v5 for Seed to come back from. How do they recover from this position?
Why did Seed have 3 players towards B bomb site, of which one of them was the Opper, is beyond me, to be honest. I mean, especially if you have an Opper, you can just have 2 guys, or even the lonesome Opper itself. So there's one angle you can set up towards B apps. You can have quite a decent amount of vision. And I don't know how that happened, but also take a look at this round. Oh, Speedy, he's gonna be dropping dead Mouse, and the bomb is making its way towards Connector, but look at the positioning of Seed.
Yeah, Zane was flanking here in towards Palace, but I don't know if that's going to make enough of a difference. He did have a really good position previously. The bomb's going down. They don't expect Zane here. Zane could make such a huge play. The trigger discipline is here. Shapiro will be taken down, so it's only the 1 frag for Zane, but he brings it back to a 2-on-2 nonetheless. However, look at Mihu. He's out towards mid. That's going to be a fairly difficult position to clear. especially with Rallen also back in towards ramp. The utility is just not good for Seed, but look at Crystal. He is aware, but he misses the shot. And so it's all up to Zane, 1-on-2. You can see he's trying to force the fight towards CT, but it's just so smart from Mihu. He goes back towards jungle, and Rallen cuts off Zane from getting back to the site. It will be Kinguin taking the second spot from this qualifier in the LAN, in the FC Dynamo Brest LAN 2017 over in Belarus. I'm sure they will be delighted with that one. A 16-9 win here on Mirage. Pretty much what we were expecting, I think it's fair to say. But Kinguin still had to get the job done, and they performed very, very well here all throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even needed to go